Let's talk about the isolation trap and why
Mhm,
community matters now more than ever, because we are in this AI generation and we're in this
mhm,
era where now everybody gets to be their own sort of expert. And
mhm,
there's a lot of opinions, just not always expert opinions. And you have to kind of cut through the noise to be able to find the things that make the most sense. There are a lot of people out there that have a lot of information, is trying to find the people that have your best interest at heart. So because we're in a time where there's just so much out there, there's also a lot of people that feel isolated. So we're in a time where a lot of people feel isolated. Layoffs are happening across industries, careers are uncertain, business owners are struggling. Very much what you said, people are shamed in their own way of not wanting to be
mhm,
able to talk about finance. How hard is it to really be able to get people to have that conversation where you can get to the thing that they actually need help with? And then
mhm.
how are you helping people be able to find the people that can actually help them?
Yeah. The one thing that I people don't really care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. They really don't. They don't care
Yeah.
about how much you know. I don't care you know that. What? I don't care. But do you care about me? And a lot of times it does take discernment. It does take talking to people to get to the place where, oh, you the real deal. Like to
Mhm.
figure out you're the real deal, because you care about me, not what I got, not what I'm about to get, but me and what I'm going through right now. So
Mhm.
when you find that person through networking, through, just being out in communities to build your community, the person that really takes the time to speak to you and not card collecting when you're out networking. I hope
Mm.
I said that the right way.
Oh, it
Do
resonated with
you
me. I know exactly what
get
you're
what I'm
talking
saying?
about. Yes. Yes, I do.
Um, yeah, because sometimes people like I do a lot of networking virtually and in person.
Mm.
And what I find is that there are people out there who are so isolated, right?
Yeah.
And they show up at these events and you can tell. Like, I'm just out here, I'm just trying to sell my thing, I'm trying to sell my thing. But when you slow them down and you talk about who they are, not what they do,
Mhm.
then you can kind of discern, like, you can kind of start building community in that way. But people are very isolated and people want to word vomit on you about how much they know, and it's
Yeah.
up to you to decide whether or not you wanna participate in that. Maybe just ask a few right questions,
Mhm.
and it'll kinda snap people out of that me mode and get to the heart of who they are.
Such a great point. Such a great point. No, doing a lot of networking sessions, I have to take my breaks from doing some of them because there's platforms that I use and they do like the 7 or 10-minute sessions,
Mhm,
and I realize I've gone through, if it could be a 7-minute session, and I'll have gone through 6 minutes of them talking about themselves.
mhm.
And then they go, "But, tell me about you." And I'm like, "At this point,
Yeah,
it's clear
exactly,
you weren't concerned about what's going on with me. I
exactly.
can answer your question, but
Mhm.
let's finish talking about you." Like, clearly
Yeah,
you had to get that off your chest. So the card collectors and stuff like that, yeah, I
yeah.
absolutely understand that. I want to circle back to what you said about people don't necessarily listen until they know you care.
Mhm,
I know that is a real part of what you do
mhm,
because from day one, I know from having conversations, the questions that you ask, the
mhm,
moments that you pause, and I know just from life, I'm 52, I've been around long enough to know when someone asks a question, whether they're listening long enough for me to be able to stop talking so that they can start talking, or if they're actually listening to be able to hear the answer. And there's a significant difference. And I think what you've highlighted is that specific difference. I know I've just in walking or going to the supermarket or anything, I'll ask someone, "How you doing?" "Oh, yeah,
mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah." And I'll still be quiet and they'll pause and go, "Well, what's wrong with him?" And I was like, "I was legitimately asking.
Yes.
You gave me all this fluff answer. No, seriously, like, how are you?" My father always told me, he was like, "You can learn from anyone and everyone in life. You just have to know what you're listening for." So
Mhm,
I'm listening because I don't know what your experience is. I don't know
Yeah.
what you've seen that I didn't see that I can actually learn from. And I think there are experts out there that have that mentality. And that mentality is what makes them not only good at their job, but it makes them even better because they're constantly learning and they're constantly evolving based on all the different things that they're picking up along the way.
Mhm.
And I think that's where some people care. Like, there are
Yeah.
people that do what they do to make money, and there are people that do what they do because they enjoy what they do.
Mhm.
And those are some of the things to me that stand out. So when I'm looking at community, I'm looking at who I want to be able to spend that kind of time around. I mean, let's be honest. When we got on the call, first thing I said is, "Look at you. There's a light coming from you." There's a difference when you talk to someone, you're like, you know what? There's just good energy, and then there's the
Mhm.
people where it's like you're just trying to get through the conversation, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to drag it out more than I need to because this is a business transaction for you, as opposed to it
Mhm.
being an actual moment where exchanging information, insights, or anything like that. So, I think that part kind of kicks in